Hello everybody, Bubbles Zest here and welcome back to HOI4. In today's video we're going to be playing as the Soviet Union attempted to form the Mountainous Republic of the Northern Caucasus. So, let's begin. First things first, research slots, standard electronics industry and so on. Always good to have an intelligence agency, so let's create one. For our civs we're just going to be spamming mills. For actual mills and dockyards we're going to be spamming guns and convoys. Anyway, for the army, we're going to gather it up and break it up into some equal stacks. Let's grab the tanks and the mountaineers. We're going to change over the tanks to infantry to keep them safe, and park this army on the Turkish border. And for the remaining 72, we're just going to be parking them on the Romanian border. For the air force, we're going to be gathering up and placing it with the army that's facing Turkey. And that is pretty much all of our prep out the way. We're not going to be doing the focus immediately because we need to get a justification against Turkey as soon as possible. So, all that's left to do is to go up to speed 5 and begin. And by the end of January, we'll just have enough political power to justify in Turkey. Wait a few more days and then we'll start focus. For us, there is only one way today, and that is the path of Marxism-Leninism. And for the first time since one-state Soviets, we're actually going to be going down the left opposition. I know, most games you go down the right opposition. And now our opposition has begun. So, where would our top secret headquarters be this time? Well, I feel like Ufa will be a good place. We've never done Ufa, so this could be interesting. We'll wait until the base is set up so we can integrate Smirnov's block. There we go. We can do the focus now. And for extra states, well, we only really need 2, so let's start off with this one. And the only other state we'll get control of is this one. We could probably do it with 1 state, but 3 states is a lot safer. And now let's approach Cherkasy. I swear half of you are simps for Cherkasy. Alright, our first event. I'd rather take the paranoia hit than have this. And there's the Spanish Civil War. We'll send some air volunteers to grind out some XP. Specifically, we're going to be sending 219 of these tactical bombers. That's a little better. Yeah, I'll take that. Well, we've approached Cherkasy, but now we need some money, so funds for the cause. Since the first Moscow trial is on its way, let's divert attention towards the military. I don't intend to do something like the Zenoniites today, but may as well bypass this, you know? Oh, that's great. France, the UK and the US will support our cause. And our justification is ready. So let's go. Everyone's on aggressive. Let's do this. They shouldn't be able to hold us for too long. Obviously, don't be foolish, just make simple attacks and encircle where you can. The main thing we actually want here is XP. Oh, that's going to be painful, understaffed bureaucracy. Probably going to have to take it though. Breaking out of this river line sucks, but when it does break, it breaks. And this is what happens, we have to purge one of our generals. So who gets turned into a cow this time? Ooh, Zhukov and Popov. Now those are 2 guys you really want to defect to you. If you don't know, this trait, Cowed by Silent, means in the Soviet Civil War, these generals can defect to us. Doesn't mean they will, but it gives them the ability to do so. Anyway, let's sway the railway workers next. A free supply hub is always good. Probably should have grinded Popov because he has such good traits, including infantry officer, but oh well, Vasily Zhukov is consistent anyway. He usually joins pretty much any rebellion. And with this, we've managed to encircle most of Turkey's army around Batman. What should we do for focus now? Let's bring back old Trotskyists. And there's the end of Romania. We'll take everything from them apart from Dobruja. And now let's send Cherkasy over to help finish up Turkey. Zhukov has actually done quite a good job with just his 24 divisions. And there's the end of Turkey. This time we're just going to annex them. Right, let's gather up all the army and prepare for the inevitable. These invasions went quite well. Definitely not the quickest we've done, but good enough. And now everything is in place. It is time for us to ignite the flames. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a lot faster than I expected it to be. I really do not want to be starting in 35 days. That's too soon. It's still winter. Alright, fine. We'll do something else. Something short. Oh, I know. Transpolar flights. It's easier to start around April. Running around in the snow is not really useful in this context. And it's a good thing also we didn't go for Popov, because he's now becoming a loyal Stalinist. He might be scared of him, but he's scaredly loyal. And now it's time to ignite the flames. I know, not perfect in terms of the weather, but perfectly enough, I suppose. Anyway, let's gather up the Air Force again, but this time, we're doing it to disband it. And just like most Soviet runs, it's time to ensure our victory in the Civil War by any means. Recruit and deploy, division designer, create empty, infantry battalions, artillery, save. Grab all divisions with the exception of the NKVD divisions and change them over. There they go. Here's what our stockpile now looks like. Pretty good, and now we're going to send over absolutely everything to a Spain. Nationalist Spain. So oil, tanks, guns, anything we can has to go. Otherwise it'd be split 50-50 and I don't fancy sharing today. And now let's also delete our production line of guns. We need to sabotage Stalin in every way that we can. And that's pretty much all the pieces in place. Now we just need to wait. So the only one who will probably defect to us is Zhukov. I'm gonna say Zhukov isn't going to defect. I don't know, that just seems to be the trend I see, but if he does, I'm not going to complain about it. Well, last time we did Smirnov, so this time it's Trotsky. Here we go again. First things first, let's upgrade our Red Army. So, we're going to be doing mode plan and cohesion first. Next up here are all of the divisions we have. We're going to change them out of the rubbish artillery divisions to a slightly okay cavalry. Next, let's cancel all the Lend-Lease and get it all back. Now let's break these up into 5 armies. There we go. Put them on a front line and a massive front line. Something like that will do. Actually, there, that's a bit cleaner. Now we get these 4 partisan divisions. Alright. And here's all the generals we start with. And I was right. Zhukov and Primakov joined us from the start. Right, this shouldn't be too hard. Stalin's army has been completely neutered. He has no equipment. Let's go get him. You should also just train up more cavalry as well in general. Get as many divisions out there as you can. Recruit, deploy as soon as they're ready. The only divisions that will be even sort of a problem to you are the NKVD divisions. The Barrier Boys, as I call them. The trick with them is just to encircle and destroy them. What do you know, I was wrong. Zhukov joined us pretty much immediately. Not bad. Such a shame we're not continuing this on to a full Soviet game, but that's pretty good with all the generals we've gotten then, isn't it? Yeah, it isn't perfect. A lot of the ground is still frozen, but it should be going away very soon. It is April after all. And to the Barrier Boys' dismay, they couldn't even destroy the division in Zaratov. We basically have a full army group now. The only thing we need to do is just snipe victory points. These 2 cavalry divisions are basically around the entire way from Ufa without losing Org. That's kind of impressive. And that's that. The Union of Soviet Republic is victorious. Well, that went pretty well. Never started from Ufa before, but that was alright. Right, let's change all our divisions over back to infantry. I know, probably a bit of a deficit, but oh well, we could definitely get rid of that soon enough. And now let's immediately do Long Live the Workers' Government. We need to get all the way down to autonomous Soviet republics. Right, next we're going to do some justifications on Tanatuva and Mongolia. This is to prevent any faction nonsense later. It'll just send one army to deal with them both. Speaking of faction nonsense actually, Tanatuva has already done ideological fanaticism, which means there very likely will be some faction nonsense today. May as well do build of the Red Army so we can make Trotsky a field marshal. The revolutionary spirit would be more useful of course if it wasn't only a 1-year national spirit. Honestly, the way this is typed out makes it seem like something that should be in the Civil War itself. I mean, the right opposition has the power of the peasantry, which is exactly the same apart from the 15% attack. Right, let's see what Tuna Tuba will do. No faction? Shame. And there they go. And now let's just park on Mongolia's border. How weak is Mongolia right now? No more than 9 divisions. even though these divisions are poorly trained, there's plenty more of them, so that should be more than enough. And since Trotsky is now one of our field marshals, let's send him personally to deal with it. Compared to Stalin, Trotsky is actually the better field marshal. He only has one negative trait, media personality, which really doesn't matter, does it? Sorry Mongolia, but you have to go. It's weird now that Mongolia is not just one state, we actually have to take multiple states to capitulate them. In the past, we basically just had to get to the capital. And that's that for Mongolia. Also just going to be annexed. Looks like just something is a little bit off if you look at it from a distance. Then you zoom and you realise, oh yeah, Mongolia's not there. If Turtuva had formed a faction with someone, they would have been considered a major and we would have been able to get desperate measures for free. But then again, doesn't really matter, we're not going to be in the Soviet Union for much longer. But just a little bit of advice if you are playing them. And there we go. Now while we could release the Caucasus and prepare to go after them, now is not the time. We're going to have to wait a few extra months. Not the least because winter is coming, and nah, I'm not going to be fighting in winter again. So we're just going to wait, do a few more focuses, and then we'll go. So for focuses at this point, do whatever. But you know what? I am feeling a little generous. We've kept Romania around somewhat, so let's give them their stuff back. There they go. Something you could do in the time before we start is just to spam infrastructure and stuff in the Caucasus. Get familiar with these faces. Pretty much all releasables do not have unique portraits. Makes sense, they're not going to be seen most of the time, so I can kind of understand why Paradox didn't make many. Right, it's now December 1st, and now while we could release the countries that we need, there's still a few things we should do first. Not the least, we need to sabotage the Soviet Union again. We need to make them so weak that just a tiny little state can take them down. So first things first, we need to get rid of all of this XP. So let's go into Division Designer, create empty, mobile battalions, 1 cavalry, save. Good. Now let's go into Doctrines, spent. And may as well spend this air XP too. Right, we have 21 XP left, so let's just make a tiny little division to use it up. There we go, completely rubbish, but gets rid of the Soviets' XP. And yet again, we're going to change all of the divisions over to artillery. There we go. And similarly, we're going to change our garrison unit over to, I don't know, this little cavalry. And now we can get rid of the main infantry division. So that means these are the only division templates we have left. I deleted the ones we had earlier. So these units are completely rubbish. And that's kind of the idea. Anyway, next step, we'll just spam out as many of these artillery divisions as we can. Not enough. Let's spam out... There we go, that's a bit more like it. The 1 whip will do. This means the Soviet Union cannot put out extra divisions, even if they somehow get more XP. Next, now it's time to release the countries. So, the countries around here that we need are ones like Chechnya, North Ossetia, that one that I'm not going to announce, but we're going to release them all as our puppets. There we go. Before we release the final nation, there's something else. We're going to completely sabotage the production line. There it goes. This is what we're left with. And now we're going to send absolutely everything to one of these 3. Because when we go to war, we'll capitulate one of them and we get their stockpile. So, we don't have to basically build anything. This time may as well be Chechnya, I suppose. Why not? Basically it's a whole stockpile for free. May as well use it. And yet again though, it's all the big numbers. There we go. Look at that minus autonomy. I think we managed to max it out. We are also going to burn all of the Soviets' political power. They need to be completely useless. The last thing we need is to have them somehow get political power. If they do, they might be able to do something with it. And what that is, I don't know, but I don't want to know. And there we go, we managed to burn all of their political power. They have nothing left. And now it's finally time for us to release the country we're going to play as. Dagestan. And there it is. Not as puppet, play as. There we go. And this is why it's important to set world tension ablaze. Because we can actually justify on them as a democratic country. So we're just going to wait a few days and get a justification going. But in the meanwhile, we're going to spam out this very cheap cavalry template. Well, we would have, but we don't actually have any factories. Oh well, that's fine. I'll just get one fire focus. And there we go, 125 days. Something useful we've done that you might not think of before releasing yourself is doing cohesion first. Now the opposite of this is doing restore Cossack units, and the AI will always do restore Cossack units, and this will give them 4 units for free, which doesn't sound like much, but these 4 units are really annoying because they're technically tank divisions, so you should always make sure you've done cohesion first before you leave the Soviet Union behind. So for the formidable nation, the Mountainous Republic of the Northern Caucasus, which is quite a mouthful, we need to control all of these, plus Abkhazia. Once all of these have fallen to us, we can do it. Finally, a military factory. Justification's ready, but unsurprisingly we're not. Oh well, it shouldn't be too long until we are. And there we go. Our first division. And more than enough division. They have org, let's get their generals. And we'll go for the level 2 cautious guy as the field marshal. But let's go, we are more than ready. Declare war. And since the Soviet puppets are considered a part of them, we can just declare a war on them directly. Right, let's go for the formidable nation. And there goes Chechnya. I skipped over it, but now we have plenty of equipment. So we could just spam out units as soon as we get them. Look at that, we can afford so many divisions now. And come on, there we go, that should do it. Already we can unite the Mountain Republics. There we go, slightly different colour. And a new nation. The Mountain Republic unites. We are disunited no more. Right, now let's take down the whole Soviet Union. We just need a load of divisions. This will probably take us a while, but we can do it. So, any future divisions will deploy, and we'll go. This is why potentially joining the Allies could be useful. They can fill the gaps a little bit and give you garrison support, but of course this comes with the problems of joining the Allies, so I'll leave that decision up to you. It's probably good to capitulate any of the little puppets the Soviets have, especially if you release them before sabotaging the Soviets' army, because they may be able to put out units. See what I mean? We've got this Belarusian division. Just like the old Beria boys, the only way to deal with them is a good old encirclement. Thanks to non-core manpower, we actually will get some more divisions, which is quite funny to say. You might want to do political effort so you can jump up conscription laws faster. That's what I'm going to be doing next. Look at this general, he's already so famous, he already has a nickname. We've basically flipped the script from the previous Soviet Civil War, haven't we? The problem at this point, this is still just a standard Soviet invasion, which means we have to basically take everything. It might almost be easier to run to Vladivostok at this rate. So yeah, this is going to take a while. I guess it depends on how much you could tolerate an easy war. The best thing you could probably do is micro towards victory points. And we have already secured pretty much all of the major victory points. And we pretty much have a full army group too. And we managed to take Belarus, who has actually put out the only division that could actually sort of stop us. Managed to deal us 3k casualties. Oh, we're going to take Ufa again, shall we? Sure. The second revolution started there, and it won't be ended there, but it's damn close to being there. German pressure towards the Benelux, well, I think that's already happened and then some. And that's that. We, the Mountainous Republic of the Northern Caucasus, have capitulated the Soviet Union. First things first, we're going to take our cause. Now, keep this in mind, this game was played in historical, which means eventually the Germans will come after the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union is very weak right now because of those rubbish templates. So, it's in our best interest to have some puppets between the Germans and the Soviets. Puppets like Belarus, Ukraine. As long as the Soviets and Germans do not share a direct border, we're safe. But take what you want, puppet what you want. It might be better to take things in the peace deal and release them as puppets later, because right now these are actually supervised states, which is kind of annoying because these are not actual puppets. Eventually they will become free. And that's the peace deal. We took 169 states. The Mountainous Republic of the Northern Caucasus is basically the Soviet Union too. But alright, this is a whole mess that we can't garrison very well. So let's clean up these borders. Oh yeah, we're now also the world's biggest warmonger. We've set world tension ablaze again, 158%. Will the Allies even still accept us? Yes, but I reckon they'll end up kicking us out of the faction anyway. There we go. And funnily enough, yes, Kerensky is back. But this time he's in Trotsky's position. And we are ridiculously powerful. We have all of these puppets. This has been a funny little game, hasn't it? There probably will be some border gore because Molotov-Ribbentrop is active. So very likely there'll be a Soviet exclave here soon enough. But, oh well, not much we can do about that. We're now safe from the Germans, thanks to Ukraine and Belarus existing. Those Germans can't do anything about it. It'd be an interesting little challenge, wouldn't it, though, to eventually go after Germany if we manage to rebuild the army. But, nah, we've already come quite far. We started out as the Soviet Union, we became Trotsky's Soviet Union, we became Dagestan, we became the Mountainous Republic of the Northern Caucasus that managed to completely take down the Soviet Union. This game is just the epitome of things escalating quickly, isn't it? But that is HOI4 sometimes, isn't it? So, until next time everybody, this has been me, Bubble Zest. I thank you for watching, I do hope you've enjoyed it. Feel free to leave any suggestions in the comments below for future video ideas, I'm always looking for them. But, until we meet again, goodbye.